going on over there?
Not too much.
Let me turn down the TV.
Oh.
What's going on in the wonderful state you live in?
You forget where I live?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I did.
You did. You forgot where I live. I'm watching Hard Knocks 2018.
What's that?
It's a show where they show you like the training camp for football.
Oh. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. That's how bored I am.
Yeah, I'm pretty bored too, man.
I've been working on a whole bunch of weird shit lately. This thing is called blockchain.
Yeah?
And it's the future of, there's two things I've been studying. The reason I'm studying blockchain is because of something it's called deep fake.
What's that?
Deep fake is going to be this thing. It's so close to happening right now. It's pretty good now, but it's going to get so good that you won't believe how good it gets. Where you're going to be able to take someone's voice and face and put them on anything you want digitally, where you won't even be able to tell the difference of anything.
Oh, people are gonna fuck people up, dude.
Oh, yeah. Oh, dude, the things that could happen, dude, are so big. Don't believe anything. If you see like a politician saying something to somebody, it ain't him probably, it ain't his voice. Nothing is going to be believable. And this is so, it's already happening, but it's getting to a point now where they say within 12 months, it's going to be so weird. It might even be shorter. It's going to happen. And so when it happened, we can't believe anything. I mean, you literally, every single thing is going to be coming to question at that point. And of course, there's so many weak minds in this world, especially so many weak-minded people that are going to fall for so many things because they fall for shit right now that ain't even, that believable to me. It's like the gullibility factor is getting like huge.
That's how the whole world is anyway, dude.
Oh yeah, I mean, but it's going to get worse, and people are going to be so gullible. Like you said, it's already that bad. It's already that bad. Well, there's something called blockchain, and what that is that don't even make sense. When you put some information somewhere, and then you have information before it and after it, you take a digital representation of that information and put it in the block before it, and you put it in the block after it, and then if somebody changes the block in the middle, you'll be able to go back and see, hey, that's not the same as what the digital representation is. They're called hashes, is what they're called. If you ever hear someone say the word hash, then that's what they're talking about. They're talking about like a digital representation of something.
Like a hashtag.
Hashtag. Yeah, I guess that's it. But I don't know what a hashtag does. All I know is that a hash is a digital representation. So what ends up happening is, it's used right now in the ledger system for like bitcoins. There's no bank that controls that. It's like a whole bunch of people out there in the world have the ledger of the Bitcoin transactions, let's say. And every single transaction has got a hash that represents it, and you can go check the ledger elsewhere to see if it's been manipulated. I'm giving a real simple explanation of this. It's so complicated I don't even understand it. I'm just learning it. I know how to write it, but I don't know the ramifications of it are weird. And so here's what people do. There's keys out there that let you add to the ledger, and people are trying to calculate these keys so they can get money. They get a little piece of a Bitcoin depending on the size of the transaction.
Huh.
So people are trying to come up with ways to search through the transactions and get the biggest ones that will get you the most Bitcoins, You know, right now you just try them all until you luckily get one, you know. And but there's people out there trying to come up with mathematical manipulations of all this so that they can try to only take the big transactions and make more Bitcoins, you know, because right now it takes a whole warehouse full of computers to calculate this. Normal people can't do it anymore. In the beginning you could have, I think, with just a good laptop. But now it takes a whole warehouse full of computers with fans and that are giant to cool the whole thing. And this is going on this is going on in the background. You have no idea this kind of crazy shit's going on. But these people have whole warehouses full of computers, and all they're trying to do is calculate these keys to get these Bitcoins. That's all they're doing. It's like, and they're trying to get like a Bitcoin a day. You know, they're worth $6,000 a piece. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to get a couple of Bitcoins a day. It's nuts.
Whoa.
Well, that's the problem is when people lump something like blockchain into Bitcoin, then people just automatically think blockchain is Bitcoin. But blockchain is something totally different. It's a way to eliminate banks in the future, let's say, or eliminate. It's great to me because think about this. Think about something in the world that could eliminate these banks that are making so much money off every transaction, and then they're just paying themselves huge bonuses for doing nothing, you know? It would be the ultimate end to their whole freaking reign of bullshit if this ever worked, and we could get rid of banks altogether. I can just go to my phone, and if I got to pay you, I can just automatically pay you in Bitcoins. I don't even have to go through a bank where my money goes to the bank, give you a check,
Right.
you cash the check, you get the money. Take the bank out of the whole thing, in my opinion, and let all these asshole motherfuckers in this bank industry that have been going on for years and years, centuries almost, they can all starve. You know what I'm saying? I say we give them jobs cleaning toilets is what I say. They go right from the bank right to the janitorial job. Worthless pigs is what they are.
Wasn't Kennedy trying to get rid of the banks?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's time to get rid of them. We don't need them. They're doing us all a disservice, and all they're doing is getting fat on nothing. That's all they're doing.
Yeah.
Fat on nothing.
This could be a big change. There's going to be a lot of huge changes in the near future.
Oh, just like the kids don't watch TV, like the major TV stations are all going to be gone. They don't even watch TV anymore. They'll watch computers and Netflix and shit. They don't.
Right.
Once I'm dead, TV's going to be gone. Well, I'm telling you right. Once I'm dead, banks are going to be gone. Maybe that'd be even better.
Things going to get better. We just lived through the worst time generation. It's going to get better, but it took our entire life to transformation for shit to change into something good.
Well, technology is going to eliminate all these people, and it's going to be great. I can't wait. I hope it happens soon. I do. I hope it happens sooner than later. And you know what's funny? Here's what's funny.
What?
I'll tell you something that is even funnier. Go online, and you'll see all these big investment heads talking about Bitcoins, like Dan and all these big-time companies with these big, huge, what do you call them? They're analysts. They're financial analysts telling you about how terrible Bitcoins are and how unregulated and how, of course they're doing that. They see the writing on the wall. They see the fact that their life is almost over. Their fat cat little life that they've been living for a century, 2 centuries is almost at the end. As of course they're going to go out fighting. They're going to say, oh, this is don't put your money in this. This is a waste. Put your money in this and get rid of banks. It's time. That's what I'm saying. I'm doing it. I'm putting some of my money into it. And
They say, damn it. I had to talk about.
Yeah, I'm glad. That's one good thing. Well, blockchain is something totally different.
I remember now.
Yeah, what?
This out. They have a robot right now that'll walk through a apple orchard or whatever, any kind of fruit or vegetable. It analyzes the fruit before it even picks it, whether it's ripe or not, spoiled, has insects, all kinds of stuff. Then it can pick the fruit with more care than a human because they're not getting paid by the bushel. And right now you can rent these machines for approximately, the cost would be $3 an hour, and they work 24 hours a day.
24 hours a day is the key part of it. Yeah.
So when they say we have to have people come across the border, guess what? Those days are over. Here's what they
Well,
need
that's
to
everybody's job. That's everybody's job.
Sure, it is everybody's job. And I'm saying all these, they're trying to make excuses. You know what? If they don't build universities on the border instead of a wall, there's going to be no need to come here without an education. So
There you go. That's a funny one. Build universities at the border.
that's what they need to do.
Yeah. Build golf courses. Because I'm out. I'm trying to quit because I'm trying to find a new job. And they drug test you now every job. It's like, why the fuck are they still doing that?
Imagine if you're sitting there like we were sitting at lunch.
In Colorado, what do they do in Colorado? Do people still drug test there for jobs?
Not quite as much as probably anywhere else. Otherwise, no one will work.
Yeah, they'd have nobody at work.
We're sitting there bullshitting at lunch, and we're like, imagine if you're sitting there and you're describing your girlfriend, and you're like, she's got a tattoo here. And then dude's like, she got a tattoo of this here? And a tattoo of this there? You're both describing the same chick by her tattoos, right?
That's why you don't get a tattoo.
Yeah, wait a minute.
It's an incriminating mark. I mean, cops can find you in 2 seconds once you got a tattoo.
Right.
You ain't hiding from nobody ever.
I know, I don't have a tattoo.
Me neither. Fuck that. I don't need an incriminating mark.
A distinctive mark that allows people to identify me other than my one-of-a-kind face, movie star face.
Well, nowadays, not having a tattoo is almost an identifier. He has no tattoos.
Yeah.
What the fuck kind of weirdo has no tattoos?
Here it's like, dude, I am about one of the only dudes without a tattoo. You're right about that.
I am. I mean, I rarely run across a dude who doesn't have one.
There's a lot of fucking tats out here, dude.
It's like, it seems like a rite of passage when someone turns like 18 or something. It's like they run out and grab a quick tattoo. Fuck, are you stupid, man? Your brain ain't even fully developed yet and you're getting a fucking tattoo.
Some people are covered in... Yeah. I like tattoos on chicks. Right?
Here's what happens. If you take some of that information, you put it in the frame of video, and then put it before it and after it, you can't manipulate it. You keep doing that over and over again. If you can find an efficient way to do that, see, I'm working on that, trying to come up with that. If I just invent that accidentally, someone's already invented it. I didn't invent it. But you just got to make it more efficient, though, is the problem. I don't think it's very efficient now where it's going to work on video. Maybe it will.
There's going to be so much change, dude, in 10 years with technology. It's almost going to be too much.
Most regular people won't understand what's going on. If there's going to be such a gap between the understanders and the non-understanders, it's going to get huge. It's already getting huge. Because right now when I'm talking to my son, and like, hey, have you heard of blockchain? The other day, and I'm like, I've been kind of studying it. I learned how to write. He goes, oh, I did this huge thing about that. I did this AI thing where I used DNA as an example to try to crack better examples. He like had this whole thing about it. It blew me away. I was like, holy shit, am I behind? He goes, I did a whole research paper on that with his friend, and he was telling me all about it. I'm like, dude, I just discovered it. That's how far behind I am. I'm always a little bit behind. Even though I always understand shit eventually, I always feel like I'm a couple months behind. And that window's shrinking. It used to be a couple years behind, and then it was like a year behind. Now it's like down to like 2 months because everything changes. If you're not keeping up with 2 months, every 2 months, you're behind. Like if I were to get sick for 6 months, I'd come back, I wouldn't know shit about nothing.
At your job?
Yeah, it's true. I'd have to start all over. I'd have to relearn everything because it's gotten the window shrunk to that small. Another thing I don't want to talk about too, because I'm in tech support, so I'm dealing with high-end technical problems, right? But there's some segments of this population that really don't know what the fuck they're doing, and they call me, and it's always the same group of people. So to tell me people aren't grouped in what they know, it may be their education is part of it. I'm not blaming them personally, but I'm just saying.
Maybe they do need to put the colleges on the border. You know, what's happening is they're forming huge groups of people, and they're hoarding the work, and they're shutting out other people that were doing the work. And they don't even have the credentials to get them. But because they're all in a group of people who have no credentials or skills, they're grabbing and passing on this work and allowing no one else to get it. When they said they took their jobs, they're not fucking kidding. They did in large quantities. Only problem is they don't even know how to do the jobs. And that's where the shit needs to come to an end. There needs to be some sort of a regulation. I mean, well, here's where it is. They've saturated the market so much in construction that you have no other choice but to hire them. Because they shut everyone that actually knew what the fuck they were doing and making good money out.
Well, the only thing I need to do is bring up example. And people say, hey, that doesn't work, but examples are what we have. Okay? And if you go around the world and look at some of these cities, these major cities in the countries these people come from, these are the people, it's shit. I wouldn't even want to go, and granted, there's some high-end places you can go in any place, but they're all gated up so tightly you couldn't even get in them. You know what I'm saying? And that's the society they're going to create here. You know what I'm saying? People want, oh, you're racist because you want to be European and blah, blah, blah. Well, yeah, that's the society I want to live in. I don't want to live in your society that you came from because it sucks. I prefer to live in the European society. When I look at that society, it looks clean and nice to me, and I like it.
Well, it turns out they are already changing it. They're already changing it dramatically. Yeah. City after city, the entire cities.
Yeah, not for the better.
I'm watching on the news here, and it's talking about Denver, okay? And there's certain neighborhoods, this is on the regular news, they said where people are afraid to drive through there with their windows up, that they'll get shot. And then they're afraid to ride with them down, that they might be wearing a blue or a red shirt or whatever and get shot. Okay? Now what are we talking about? What are we talking about here?
They're trapped in their own little weird world of us and them that they can't get out of. Like you said, with the red and the blue.
And then
how small is your brain?
And then they also said
focus your whole life on defending a color against another one. It's like,
there's one particular neighborhood here that has like a church. It's a smaller neighborhood with this certain ethnic group of gangbangers, and that's the safest place. And here's why. And they didn't say this flat out. They didn't say it with any sarcasm, and they should have. This particular neighborhood is like one of the oldest ethnic neighborhoods around here. And this is where all their grandparents live, and no one's getting shot there. These people are a piece of shit to society. They only care about themselves. Go back. They need to go back, is what it is.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Because they're going to make sure they don't shoot their grandparents in this one little church town, these gangs, but they're going to condemn and infest the rest of the city.
Go to the cities they're from and then say to yourself, is that the way you want your city to look?
Right.
Because that's what they're going to turn it into. They don't know any better. And you can call it racist. You can call it whatever you want. I'm just saying it's a simple fact. Just go and look. If that's the way you want your city to look, then be one of those sanctuary cities and sanctuary that right up your ass. And you live with their city just like your city now. Yeah. Good job, people. Good job. You sanctuaried yourself right into that one. Good job. And I'm not being racist about it. It has nothing to do with race at this point.
It has nothing to do with immigration. It has to do with the type of people. Because there's people from other countries that come here and don't break any rules and don't kill people and don't rob and steal or whatever and get good jobs and are contributing to society.
Yeah.
So
maybe making it even better. Maybe making society better.
Yeah. So you can't, it's just a certain groups of people, and it's not, people want me to, are probably thinking I'm talking Mexico. No, it's all down Brazil. There's all kinds of these bad places.
Mexico's the good part. If we got all Mexicans, it would be better.
That's
these people coming from the Dominican Republic and all these places, Venezuela, you name it.
Right.
They're coming from way down there. Trust me, they're not there. They're not leaving because they had a good life there.
Right. They showed this one judge in Texas. They were talking about this, and they said 1 out of 8 people he sends back. And the one guy they showed an example of, he says he doesn't want to go back because he's afraid that the gangs are going to kill him when he gets back there. And the guy goes, well, I'm sorry to hear that's where he came from, but good luck when you get there. Maybe you guys will quit having gangs. How about that? Try that one out for size. You know, you probably weren't a pastor in a church there, something like that. You probably were involved in that shit, and now I don't know what to tell you. And then I don't want you to
steal their money.
And I also don't want you to bring your mentality thinking you'll be safe here and then fucking treating people like shit here because you're a piece of shit where you came from, doing that same shit to other people, terrorizing people. And now you're going to come here and terrorize people.
I'm sorry, I'm talking to Uncle Tony.
Uncle Tony, remember that.
I'm talking to Uncle Tony.
We were the ones that invented strong arming. we put that in the past, you know? It was wrong. I did it. It was wrong. I corrected it, and it's time to move on. You know what that is, right? You should tell her, hey, did you see Uncle Tony on the rocks on Facebook?
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up. You went cliff diving.
Yeah.
Well, when I watched the video, some girl videotaped you, and when I saw the video, when you got out, you didn't look like you looked like you took it hard.
No, it was cold, dude. It took my breath away.
Oh, okay. I was wondering what was up because you looked like
no, it was super freaking cold, dude. It was like, I couldn't even breathe.
It was like 32 degrees or something, huh?
Yeah, it was bad, but that part. But the jumping part, that was fun.
Was it a rush?
Oh, yeah. It was almost more of a rush climbing down that cliff to that ledge where you could actually reach the water. That was you had to climb up and over the mountain and down this little.
How many times did you do it?
I did it 3.
But you had to climb down that mountain to do it.
Yeah, I had to climb up and over into this thing.
You need some climbing shoes, dude.
Nah, I had them on. Did you see the video?
No, I only saw you barefoot.
Yeah, the barefoot video. That's what I meant.
That's what my daughter has climbing shoes. They're like real tight little shoes that have they're cool. They grip everything. I have them.
Feet. That's why I made the video. Everybody there had shoes but me.
You were barefoot. I was like, what the fuck? It looked pretty treacherous too.
The guy who I went there with, I went with his family. He's the guy that just started working over there. He's like, hey, we're going to do this thing. You want to go in? I'm like, hell yeah. I'm usually bored anyway. He's talking about going to this other one called the Devil's Bowl. It's a little further away, but it's similar to that thing. It looked like there was a bunch of other more accessible rocks you could jump off. Not such a treacherous climb to get to those platforms.
Yeah, that looked pretty wild. It looked like you had to climb down a bit.
Dude,
you had to climb down because you had to clear it. Is that why?
Yeah, you had to get to. Well, you could jump from a way high rock and maybe clear. People were doing that, but I can't take a risk of bottoming out in there. They were bottoming out in that water.
Yeah, you can't risk it now, especially when you got the broken leg.
Yeah, so I said, fuck that.
Yeah. That's still cool. Did people go and not do it?
Oh yeah, a bunch of people were just there watching, sitting like in the edge of the water. It's almost like a little beach.
Oh, I gotta go. I gotta jump if I'm going.
Dude, it was so fucking cool. You're way up in the mountains in the middle of nowhere. It was almost like, it was unbelievable. It's just this sanctuary in the middle of nowhere. Fucking 200 people running around, laughing, having a blast. Everybody was just having a great time, too.
Yeah, that's cool.
It was.
Yeah, it looked awesome.
I'm definitely wanting to do it again. This dude said he's been there 6 years and there was a whole list of shit he wanted to do. And then he's like, my kids are getting older, and I know if I don't start going and doing this shit, I'm never gonna do it. So I'll tag along, check some of this shit out. There was a guy there with scuba gear just finding jewelry and shit on the bottom. I told him next time I'm gonna bring a mask to that other one and fins.
Yeah.
We'll just dive down there and see if we can find anything.
Well,
it wasn't that deep, 10 feet maybe.
Oh, I'm looking at the video now. You walking in your feet, your bare feet. God, why, dude? Shoes? Do you want me to send you some shoes? What size foot are you?
I'm nuts, right?
What size shoe are you?
Why? I have shoes. I don't wear them in the summer.
Oh.
So I don't want my feet white and the rest of me.
You're gonna get flat foot.
Who cares? This age.
You have to wear wrestling shoes then.
I'll have to kick people flatter. More flat than I do now. Trying to put the fucking hand in it.
Yeah, that place you were at looks nice. Holy shit.
Oh my god, right? Is that nuts?
Yeah, that's crazy. There's some crazy ass nice places in this country.
In a valley.
Somehow you can get on Facebook and you can like see only the videos of the people you know, you know? I don't know how I did it. I just clicked on it and they took me there.
Took you to what?
To just a list of all the videos of my friends.
Huh. That's weird.
Yeah, it is weird. Because I can see them all now in a row.
I have some really warm. What are my friends doing? I'm not. I'm in tea.
One of our friends from high school is in Venice, Italy right now.
Remember Gene that used to come over, the big black dude, my friend?
Yeah, yeah.
He's on Facebook. He's always going somewhere, dude. He lives in Cali. He's always going on some vacation and stuff. So he must have got a good job out there.
Yeah, he must do something cool. He was always really cool and laid back, so I could see how.
Right.
Yeah.
He was like the bully of the school, and I fought him, and then he just was one of my best friends. He's like, no one ever stuck up to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm from the east side. Now I moved to the west side. We don't take shit from guys like you. We didn't even really fight. He couldn't believe I would fight him. We were like a rat pack. I walked around with that dude everywhere.
Yeah.
He approached with the bully. He wasn't a bully. He was just the toughest kid in the school.
He was just misunderstood.
Yeah. He was.
The misunderstood bully.
He got some bag lunch from school with like peanut butter and jelly that was made 4 days ago. And like the grape jelly had soaked the top bread just till it was purple. And those days he would get those. I'd be like, dude, here. I would give him some of my lunch. I'd be like, you can't be eating that shit. So some of the lunches were bad. He'd be like, oh man, he would open that bag. What you got? I'll be like, I got some ho-hos. I'll be over here. It's my mom made my lunch. He got the school lunch. And it was a bag lunch. It was shitty. Like I said,
This is gonna sound weird, but I never ate a school lunch before.
A 3-day-old lunch.
I'm not joking. When I say that I went to school for how long? 13 years or something. How long are you in school?
You never ate a piece of pizza or something from there?
Never one time ate a school lunch. Never had a piece of pizza, nothing.
I used to get, they had a chocolate shake machine. They were the bomb.
Well, I got a shake, but I mean, I ate the fries, nothing. I never ate any of the food.
Every day I got a chocolate shake.
Me too. I drank a lot of shakes there. That's all I needed. That's all I needed for lunch.
That's crazy. Now they got like pop machines and shit in the hallways. I'm like, damn, I remember times I was just dying of thirst in class, almost like they tortured you. Can't get a water break. A water break? What the fuck? What is this?
Now I think you can crack a Coke right in the class now.
Yeah, you could have a drink in class. That would be totally awesome.
You need a waitress is what you need.
You're right, a waitress.
Like you ring a little bell and a waitress comes into your classroom.
You hit a button.
Order what you want.
When she walks through and takes everyone's order right after the bell rings.
Yeah.
What would you like?
Can I get a refill?
I'll have a big lox and bagel.
If you got money, it seems like you should be able to.
You should have the special class for rich people.
Yeah. That's right. They take your order at the beginning of the class. Your food
special
order.
ed. You have to have there's a dress code. Okay.
Yeah, you can't wear those shoes in here.
Yeah, right. How dare you?
Where'd you get them from fucking Macy's?
Yeah. Okay. There's like 4 teachers.
There's 4 teachers for every student.
like you'd have 4 lawyers if you were a real rich dude. You got 4 teachers. I agree. Yes, I agree. Agree? Yes, agreed. When's their teaching? They're
you got somebody knows what they're talking about.
Oh, imagine. Back to the tattoo thing. Imagine if you meet a chick and she's got a tattoo of a ruler on her stomach with like names. 8 inches. Here's John. Here's Paul. He's around 5.
Or not names, just having the ruler alone is enough to make you like, you're like, holy shit, here, hold it up to this.
No, I mean, it's like a ruler and there's a little line where each dude's how big he was.
I get it, but even still, when just having the ruler, you'd be like,
that was other
all
fun.
worried, you'd be all worried and shit.
You pull her pants down, instead of a tat, that's a tramp stamp. She's got the ruler. A ruler as a tramp stamp.
Mm-hmm.
I'm terrible, dude. I don't know what's wrong with me lately. How I even think of shit like this. It's gotta be out there somewhere. I mean, some chick has had to.
I gotta Google it. I go on Pinterest, I'll tell you.
You're gonna see if you can find it?
Yeah, if you ever want to find anything weird. Do you have a Pinterest on your phone?
What's that?
Dude, don't get it because you'll be addicted to it. You'll never be able to put it down.
It's weird shit. All right.
It's just one continuous flow of, it's kind of, ruler tattoo. Holy shit. Holy shit, people do have roller tattoos.
Are there?
Yeah.
On chicks, on their back and their stomach?
I'm not sure where this one is. It looks like it's on her arm. Not many.
They're all on chicks though, huh?
No, some are on guys.
Oh God.
This guy has it for his shop. It says ruler tattoo could be useful. He's got it on his forearm and he just measures with it real quick for the shop.
That is a good idea.
He says could be useful. If you look, and it's perfect too. It's like really detailed and granulated.
That's a good idea. So I didn't think of it, but where I thought to put it was the crafty part that I thought.
If you're like in the shop all day measuring, it's like boom.
You're
You're gonna have to say, hey,
fuck.
where's my ruler? Where's my tape measure and shit? Where's my ruler?
You got one in centimeters.
You were tired of looking for it.
You hear me? You had the centimeters ruler on your other arm.
Well, he had inches on one side of the thing and then centimeters on the other.
Yep, I'm always thinking of shit. Never stop. You use the ruler.
Oh my God, so many people have one of these. It's unbelievable.
A ruler tattoo
If
on
I
it.
had to measure something every single day continuously, a small thing, I would just get the tattoo and not have to worry about measuring it.
Still wouldn't get a tattoo.
Well, I'm never getting it.
I measure shit every day. I still don't have. You got like a tape measure, a 50-foot tape. How am I going to use that?
You keep taking it and stretching it all around your body like one big, long tape measure.
You just use your dong. No one ever did that. 10 inches, 10 inches, 10 inches.
Right.
I gotta make something 10 inches over and over all day.
That's how you decide how big you're going to make the thing, whatever it is. How'd you decide how big you wanted to make that? And you're like, well, let me tell you exactly.
It was a unit of measurement. Actually, I was going to make it a foot, but
A foot?
My ruler wasn't that big. I didn't have a big enough ruler.
That might have been where the inch came from. That might have been the size of King George's. It might have been 1 inch.
Right. No, some
English king.
1 inch. That's why he was killing everybody. Off with your head.
We had to kill the women after he was done with them so they wouldn't tell anybody. After he divorced them, he couldn't just divorce them. He had to kill him.
Don't they still do that? Oh, yeah. Who was the last one? Oh, yeah. Princess Diana.
Yeah. We don't know what happened there.
Yeah, right. All we know is they went in the tunnel and she came out dead where no cameras were.
Right. It's funny, there's a camera on that broad every minute of her entire life, except for that second that,
Yeah.
Where'd those pictures go?
They're with the moon landing pictures. I'm pretty sure I think those two didn't really get along anyway. And I think he was just pissed that everyone liked her. That him Prince.
Yeah.
And then when she started messing around with that Holly Boobop dude, that was the final straw.
Yeah, he had just had enough at that point.
She was making a mockery of him.
She could have just laid low. She could have just laid low for a while is what she should have done.
Mm-hmm.
Everything would have been fine.
But instead, she had to go around, blabbing her mouth, blah, 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 about everything.
Yeah. Well, no one's ever going to diss her, so that's almost like sacrilegious.
That's the thing. People liked her so much, I think it bugged the shit out.
I think the Queen is probably, she got more attention than the Queen, and the Queen probably had something to do there, maybe. I don't know. I'm just throwing something out there crazy. When you start doing conspiracy theories lately, this is what gets you knocked off every YouTube channel, and it's like we're making conspiracy theories out.
Everybody just liked her for some reason, unconditionally.
Yeah.
And I think it bugged them that all the royal power and everything, people still liked her better. And she wasn't even royal. You'll never be royal.
Is that what that song's about?
Yeah.
Really?
Not about her.
Oh. Yeah.
It's about you never be royal. It isn't in your blood.
Yeah.
We claim a different kind of buzz.
Well, you could have been royal and not know it. I mean, you could have been slipped away here and there through life. You could have been hidden.
I pretty much think I am, because everywhere I go, people are like, they look at me like I'm a god.
Is that it? That is a good song, man.
Yeah, it is. That chick's cool.
Some people just got it. You know what? I was thinking the other day, I was watching this weird Iranian show, right? Because I always watch these shows. And it was about these underground Iranian artists or something.
Right.
And he was enthralled by skateboarding, right? And he made these sculptures of skateboarding that were so awesome out of this rudimentary bullshit, but it was all so nice. And he talked weird, and he was kind of by himself, but his art was so amazing, I was just like dumbfounded by it. And I thought to myself, it's so funny how, even though he's in this weird place in Tehran, Iran somewhere, in a basement somewhere, you know, being persecuted, and he can barely speak English, but here he's telling you about his life, and his art is so perfect. It's just, you're either just born with that, you know? You're not gonna, he was gonna do that art no matter where he was in life, or if he was in Tehran, if he would have been here, there, wherever, it wouldn't have mattered. Yeah. Well, you know what he did with his art, which was cool, some of it? He did a whole bunch of different versions. But some, he would make the little skateboard dude, and however he was sculpting it out of clay or something, and paint it beautifully. Then he would make the guy again and again and again. He'd make like 20 of them, all the same.
Mm-hmm.
But they were all slightly different throughout the trick of the skateboard. So like if he had like a rail there, he made a little sculpture of the rail, and then he made the 20 little sculptures of the guy in different positions all the way through the whole rail.
Right.
It was so
probably,
unbelievable.
It might have been camel dung.
Oh, it could have been anything. It was so perfect too, and I was thinking to myself,
was it brown?
he had painted little clothes on them too that were just, it was just cool. So, and the way he thought to do it, it almost looked like a freeze frame video, but it was a sculpture. I thought, oh, that was a genius idea. I'd never seen anything like it. It was just in his brain, you know. He goes, that came out of my brain, and then he just turned that into a whole weird thing. He even did them out of wood, some of them that were just crazy.
Right, that's pretty cool.
Well, yeah, but it's just such a weird medium for some dude in Iran to start doing skateboard sculptures. It's like, it's so fucking weird.
That's what I mean. If he was here, would he do an AK-47?
We influence people everywhere. I don't care if you try to hide it or what you try to do. People try to be American. I don't know why. We suck. It's pretty cool, I think. We're the unlucky Americans.
Think so.
Well, yeah, I mean, how'd we get stuck here? It was just bad luck. It was someone migrating here accidentally, and then someone else migrating, and them having sex, and then we ended up here. Otherwise, there's no way some Italian would have made sex with an Irish person and made someone. I would have been all Italian.
True.
Yeah. I mean, how's an Italian going to meet an Irish person if I would have still been in Europe? It just wouldn't have happened.
You would have had a better meatball recipe.
Yeah. I would have had a lot more oily skin.